Well, hello everybody, this is Travis. Welcome to Razor Garage. Now, I haven't made a video for a long time, so bear with me. Want to maybe start doing a few videos here and there. Been doing some riding. I got some ride videos coming up. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe preventative maintenance, let's call it, PMs, or an after ride checklist. Now when I get home from a ride, I always take a quick look at everything, and then I wash it, and then I pull it in the shop, and then I check other things. But let's do the walk around. Let's do the walk around here real quick, like I do. Now, as you can see, it's still all dirty, but you can still walk around and just give everything a good look over. So we're going to start here in the front. We're going to look at everything. We're just going to look at CV boots. We're going to look around, make sure there ain't nothing visibly broken or damaged that we can see. And we're going to check everything here. Don't feel any grease or anything coming out of them, and we're gonna look in there, just take a gander at everything. Like I said, it's still muddy. But if something is broken, you'll be able to see it if it's bad. So we'll continue. Look at the shock mount. And we're going to look in here. We're going to look in here. We're going to take a good feel at the CV boot. See if make sure we don't feel any grease. That one's good. And so we're going to come over here. Nothing looks visibly broken. Check CV boot. Now right there, that squirrely little bugger, there's a hole right here in this CV boot. Now, I have to say, I'm a little upset about that, because I only got about 50 miles on these brand new Rhino 2.0 axles and ripped the CV boot yesterday, going through some mud or wherever. I don't know, maybe a stick popped up and got it. I have no idea, but that's the only thing that I visibly see first off on my checklist here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wash this, and then we'll pull it in the shop and we'll jack it up and check stuff. Now earlier there, when I said preventative maintenance, I'm thinking, preventative as in the way of preventing you from having to walk back to the truck or wherever you started from, or to rely on the kindness of the possible stranger that passes by to tow you back to wherever you started at. You really don't want to do that. You want to save yourself as much of that as you possibly can. So what I like to start with, I'll start with the front end, and it doesn't matter what kind of machine you have. Any side-by-side that you're riding, do the same checks. Now, we got her jacked up, wheels off the floor. You want to come over, just grab your tire and give it, pull it real hard and push it back and forth. You can use your knee. I would use both hands, but I'm holding the camera with one. So you give it, and there ain't no movement anywhere. But if you feel if you feel something moving, then you want to look to see where it's moving from as you're pulling your tire back and forth, top to bottom. You'll want to look at the pivot points on your control arms, top and bottom, and you also check your ball joints the same way, and your wheel bearing. If you have any movement, then you're going to want to, I don't know how well I can get this, but as you're moving it, stick your head down there and move it back and forth and see where the movement's coming from to determine your problem. Now, I don't have any problems here. So we're going to come around this side and we're going to do the same thing. And if you want to wiggle it the other way a little bit to check your tie rod ends. Oh, yeah, hold the camera. Now this way, if you go this way, you're gonna move both your wheels because you have it off the ground. But if you make, a quick movement, then you'll be able to feel if your tie rod end is bad, or if the tie rod end inside here. And the same goes for the other side. Just check everything. And if you want to make it easier to check your CV boots while you have it up, turn your wheel so you can watch your CV boot go around the whole way. Check your CV boot the whole way around, because if you're just sitting and looking at it without turning it, it's a good possibility that you're going to miss something. Okay, everything checks out here on the front end. And when I washed it, every time I wash it, I always take your grill out, or however you have access to your radiator or on your particular machine. I take the grill out, take the hood off, and I stick my head down inside and I hose it all out with the garden hose. Don't use pressure washer on the radiator. You'll bend the fins. And now that you've checked all those, at that point, if you wanted to go ahead and remove your wheel and check your brake pads. Now, I checked my brake pads last weekend and they were still usable, so I'm not going to worry about them today. And as far as the wheel bearings, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, I took all the wheels off and I greased all the wheel bearings. Now I typically do that once a year. Now I'm gonna do the back. All right, now we've got the back jacked up, and it's the same procedure as the front. We're going to visibly inspect the CV boot over here. That one's good. And we're going to do the same over here. That one's not ripped. Now, like I showed you in the beginning, I know that the CV boot is ripped on the passenger side, so I'm not even going to look at that one because I know it's ripped. But you do the same thing. Almost fell. You grab your wheel and you push it. Now see, I hope you can see that. I actually have a little movement. You can hear that too, probably. Okay, now I have looked already. I know it's not the wheel bearing, but we'll get in here and hopefully I can get in here. It's a little dark, but I don't know if you can see that on the camera. But my bushings here on the bearing housing, these bushings are bad, and the ones on the bottom are bad, so I am gonna have to replace those bushings. And just do the same on the other side. And see, that one's moving too. And I checked before I turned the camera on, and it's the same issue. I don't know why those are so sloppy, but this top bushing, the top bushings, and the bottom bushings, those are both bad, so I have to replace them. So, moving on, you're going to want to check your air cleaner wherever yours is. This is here in the bed. Now, I just cleaned this one. Last week, but we'll blow some air through it and see what we get. So we got the air cleaner here. Now I have my air gun modified with a brake line fitting on it and a piece of brake line with a bend on the end of it, so you can get down inside here and, well, I don't know if you can see that, but I see it. There's a good bit of dirt coming out of there. So there was a good bit of dirt coming out of there. That surprised me, actually. So I'm going to finish cleaning that and put it back in. Okay, we got that air cleaner cleaned and reinstalled. And check your oil, change your filters at regular intervals. Now, I do mine every 25 engine hours. Little things like that can save you a lot of problems in the long run. And, well, I don't think I have too much more to say. You know, just after your ride, go over your whole machine, check everything, and if something needs fixed or replaced, do it. Don't go riding it broken, because you're only going to cause yourself more trouble that could have easily been avoided by just not going. And, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I was a little bit helpful. I know there's a lot of new people to the sport, and everybody doesn't know everything, and everybody's not super mechanically inclined, and that's okay. You don't have to be. You know, you just use some common sense and look at things, and if something's broke, fix it, replace it, don't use it until it is fixed. And I think I'm gonna sign off here, and you all have a good day, and hopefully we'll see you out on the trail.